Hello there folks, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome back to our MotoGP 19 career mode, and today it is time for the final episode of the Red Bull Rookies Cup season. Now we're going to do 3 rounds in today's episode, so I can't ramble on too much. But, of course, to get it all finished today, we've got to do those 3 rounds. So we're going to start at the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg, the Austrian Grand Prix. Then we go to San Marino, the San Marino circuits, the Misano World Circuit, Marco Simoncelli. And then we finish at Motorland Aragon in Spain. So 3 very good tracks to go to, and the championship currently looks like this. We had a little bit of a lacklustre episode really compared to the first one last episode. So we've got quite a deficit to the likes of Salvador, Tate and Canil. But hopefully with some good results and some good qualifying, we should be able to take the battle to them in the last 3 rounds. Coming to the end of our first flying lap at the Austrian Grand Prix circuit, I really think this is a great test of a motorbike, probably more than it is of a car. There's a real mix of long straights, which of course test the bike's top speed. It doesn't really matter, because of course this is just one branded series, but it's certainly interesting when we make the jump up to other series, where there's a clear distinction between different bikes on straights, and also a good combination of slow corners and medium pace corners as well to test the bike and how the aerodynamics look. But that first lap is a 1:43.950. Certainly not a bad lap at all. I don't know what the benchmark really is here. We've just set the first lap, but I suppose we'll see after setting a few laps how everybody else is getting on. Oh, look how close that is. We've done 3 flying laps. Improved immensely. I think our first lap, what was it, a 1:43.9 or something like that? But it's clear that from the first 2 episodes, that qualifying glitch, or whatever it was, has definitely been fixed. As you can see, the times are tumbling really massively, to be quite honest. And it seems that whilst the track is being used more, there is definitely track evolution, because we are improving, I would say, lap on lap, of course, apart from that example, which probably means it's time to call it quits. But I have to say, the AI are very quick. We put it up to the maximum level of AI, and possibly that might be our problem, but we've got to just deal with it. We've got to make sure we're as quick as possible, be as aggressive as possible, and we've got a real challenge on our hands to try and win this championship. We're just off where we want to be. We've just come back out for 1 more flying lap. We're just off where we want to be. We're in 4th place, just behind the top 3 that we're trying to catch in the championship. And we're almost in no man's land, really, with our time, because we've set, I think, a 41.2. The guys ahead are doing, as you can see, Salvador, a 40.2. I think 40.5 is the slowest time of that 3 bunch. But then, looking down the grid, the next time is a 1:42.9. So, there's no issue of us finishing below 4th, but it's no good being beaten by the guys who want to beat in the championship, because that just extends the points advantages that they have. So it's going to be a whopper of a lap. We've got time for 2, to be fair, but ideally just the 1. This could be the lap. We have pushed like absolute crazy to get to this point. We've done 3 more laps because we just about had time. Luckily, we're going to have about 5 seconds to spare not to hit that checkered flag before doing this 3rd lap. But with going quicker increases mistakes. We managed to get to a 1:41 dead, but this is definitely our best lap yet. And as you can see from the times, we are quicker than Salvador. Is that going to be an exclusive thing for the first 2 sectors, or are we going to have the momentum to carry us on through the end of the lap? Let's have a look how we're going to get on. Oh, we're a 10th off Salvador, but that is enough for 2nd place on the grid. Let's see how we get on in these last few corners. This is really a time where you can gain a hell of a lot of time and equally lose it. Not the best exit, really, but it'll do. But how are we going to get on? Let's see how we get on. It's going to be a 40 something. It's going to be our best lap yet, and it's a 1:40.409. And that squeezes in quite nicely in 3rd. All that effort just to get 1 place up on the grid. But honestly, I think it's worth it.
Hello and welcome to the Red Bull Ring. Just a few minutes to go and the Austrian Grand Prix will finally begin. Despite the clouds that are building up overhead, track conditions are good and the forecasts say that the risk of rain is pretty low.
Here we are then for the Austrian Grand Prix in the Rookies Cup. I'm immensely excited for this, really ready for a good battle. We've proven on that maybe only 1 lap that we've got the pace of the leaders, but we need to prove that in the Grand Prix. It's a big challenge, and finally, the AI drivers, or the AI riders even, I always make that mistake, have finally stepped up to the plate. We've got a big, exciting challenge among us, and let's see how we get on.
The riders have just completed the sighting lap and are lined up on the Red Bull Ring straight. Very little time is left.
Every race is important now. Every corner. We're 26 points behind the leader in the championship, David Salvador. The only way we're going to gain on him is by beating him in this Grand Prix. And we are away for the 5th round of the Red Bull Rookies Cup in 2019. A half-decent start. Interesting that the second place man today is just making his, efforts clear, but quite poor on the braking there. And we are battling Salvador going into turn 1, but he just gets the better exit and manages to pull away just a teeny little bit. But what he hasn't got that we've got, and definitely all the chaps behind us have got, is slipstream. Can we get the slipstream and get him into this corner? It's a pretty tough corner to overtake at, but we do like late braking into him. That might benefit us. We like brake late. Can we make the corner? Oh, just about. And we are past Salvador for now. So if we hold this position in the race, we will gain points from him in the championship. But I feel, and definitely feel, this is nowhere near over. So at the end of the first lap, it seems Salvador's had quite a poor start, to be fair. He is down to 4th place. From that pole position, he has swapped with Tate and Canil. As you see, actually, no, it's David Salvador. Assuming, is he completely lost it altogether? But no, it's David Salvador, and that's why he's Dav on the on that little leaderboard there. But Tate and Canil are the aggressors now, rather than us coming up to this corner on the first lap. I'm interested to see if they make the late break. It's always known in these games that the AI are quite aggressive, but equally we like to break late here. So they've got to break the latest of the late breakers, I think, and they've certainly not bothered doing that here. It's in fact, though, Canil and Salvador have both got past Tate, so a really good battle behind us. If they can keep that battle behind us and nowhere near us, I'm absolutely fine with that. Hello, Canil. Well, he's gone past. Just a 10th behind, and now we're going to be aggressed on by the rest of this field, so we need to get past Canil as soon as possible, or else we potentially risk losing this race. And that's Salvador behind us, a man that we definitely do not want to lose any position to. Canil's lap on that occasion was 8 tenths faster than us. Not going to go for it into this first corner. I think that's fair enough. We're going to get the momentum coming up into turn 3 and see how we go on. It might be classed as turn 2, but anyway, the big corner that we took Salvador on the first lap, it's basically a mirror image to the first lap, albeit that it's Canil ahead and not Salvador, and probably a little bit closer to Canil this time. So coming through turn 3, are we going to make the move with brake lights? Possibly get it. So we tapped off the brakes a little bit there. Collide with Canil, push him wide just a little bit, but no. We couldn't get him on that occasion. Canil was strong, and we stay in P2. Now we're going to be, well, luckily Salvador and Tate are having their own little scrap behind them, but admittedly I'm not very good into this set of corners now. That first sector was probably the best place for me to attack there. Not very good into this corner, but we'll have to get on with it. And as you see, we lose a little bit of time to Canil there. And the danger is we are going to just slip away from Canil now before the end of the GP. This is sorry news. There's Salvador. Salvador's gone past, but we have to brake late to get past him. And we've basically done a block pass on him. So the last lap, is it going to be second? Is it going to be first? Is it going to be third? Is it going to be fourth? Canil's gone, I think, now. We buggered around too much, not getting him. And that means that Canil is probably going to win this race. He is much faster than us on pace. So fair enough. A 40.8 from him, a 42 dead from us. All we can do is brake ridiculously late into these two corners and just hope that we get some sort of slipstream on him without losing any time or silly time penalties. That's not bad through that first corner, and certainly increases the gap to Tate and Salvador behind, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere near enough to attack Canil. So as long as we stay in second, we'll still gain points on Tate and Salvador, and that's definitely a plus. We really could have done with winning this GP, but what can you do? Canil was just the faster man on the day. Salvador and Tate have been embroidered in their own little battle. It would be brilliant for us if Tate got past Salvador, so we could gain as much points on the championship leader as possible. But nevertheless, we'll take second. We beat 2 of our 3 rivals. We'll have to see how the championship plays out after this, and how the table looks like after this finish. But fair play to Canil. He was the much faster bike on the day. And we finish in P2. Still an improvement on our P3 qualifying position. So let's have a look how that leads the championship, shall we? We are now... Oh, well. Canil takes the lead. Technically, we lose a point to the championship leader. So I think with 2 races to go, maybe winning the championship is going to be too much. But we're going to keep going for it and see how we get on in the next race at Mazzano. Well, there was no way we could have got pole there. I really pushed. Only did 2 laps, admittedly, but really pushed. And I thought, there is no way we're going to gain 1.6 seconds on those 3. They are mighty, Canil, Salvador and Tate. But hopefully just our racecraft and potential race pace and potential block passing will help us through in this race. Let's go for it then. Come on, it's a clear track. And it should be a great race. I do like this circuit. I'm very fond of it, like Austria. There's definitely points in it where we're very good at. There's definitely points where we're a little bit negative at. I think those slower corners that we really have to get the brakes on are not my best, the tight corners, but the fast-paced corners, medium pace, we can definitely exploit the AI in those corners because we can take more pace than them. But that, of course, is then equalled by them taking the advantage on us in the slow corner. So it's going to be an interesting race, see how we get on. We probably need to jump those three at the start. I'd rather be at the front trying to defend than be aggressive, because as we saw in the last race, as soon as we got overtook, they were clearly quicker than us. Let's play to our strengths and hopefully win this Misano Grand Prix.
All the riders have taken their places on the starting grid. Riders are deep in concentration with just a few seconds to go until this San Marino Grand Prix begins.
I do love Keith Ewan in the commentary box, I must admit. It provides something of a bit of realism to the game rather than Gavin Emmett. But anyway, for the 6th race and the penultimate race in our Rookies Cup season, we are away now. We haven't got the benefit of starting on the front row this time, which really isn't going to help. But into the first corner, let's see how we get on. Go on the outside line, don't want to be mugged by anyone, so just want to stay to our normal line. Hopefully don't affect anyone too badly. That's 3rd place we could have got there, but well. But who's our rival? All of them. It's not just one of them, it's all of them. We can beat all of them, that'd be fantastic. But we don't want to make any stupid kamikaze manoeuvres and then lose what we've got already. That's a little bit wide into there, but not great. But well. Certainly stayed in touch with the first 3 for the first 30 odd seconds of the race. That's not necessarily going to be the case for the rest of the race. But I feel like Canil might well be unstoppable already. He's just too far ahead. We're looking at 2nd and 3rd to see if we can make any sort of move on them. But as you can see, just everywhere on the track really, we are starting to lose pace with the top 3 already. So it might be a bit of a monotonous, boring 4th place. And that really doesn't help, does it? Going way too wide into there. Braking way too late. Just trying to get an advantage. But I will stay with you folks until the end of the first lap just to see if anything kicks off. Not best round this corner either. It's very tight. But the rest of the lap I'm great round. So theoretically, well, that's just completely blown our chances. I think that's bye-bye to the championship, if it wasn't bye-bye already. Let's be honest, we weren't really got the best chance, but it was all about hope, it was all about positivity. But going down there, it's the first time we've gone down there this weekend. We've been very close on certain occasions, but this is the few corners I'm talking about now. As we come through these few corners, we should get an advantage on the AI. Not much of one, it seems, but enough. Couldn't really launch a move on Patel there, unfortunately. But we need to get up to 4th place. We'll have definitely lost the championship because we lost, well, we're already 26 points behind the championship leaders. Only, of course, 25 points available in each race weekend, so we can kiss goodbye to the championship. But just if we show ourselves well in these last 2 races, hopefully we can get a spot on the Moto3 roster for next season. Well, I think it's just proof in the pudding that the top 3 are too quick. Salvador's just set a 1:48 dead. Okay, we were fighting for the fill, we're now in 9th place. But, oh, that doesn't really help, just tapping the back of Felon there. But we did a 49.3. So it's clear that we are quite a bit slower than those 3 in the top of the field. But we've got a nice little gaggle here for 4th place, so hopefully we can get past all these, despite our fall, and finish really where we started. So it doesn't look like we failed, doesn't look like we did anything. We just stay where we are, and consolidation is probably something we need to focus on for the rest of this short season. So we've managed now to get past all the midfield runners from 5th down to 9th. And as you can see, the top 3 are absolutely miles away, 10 seconds ahead. So we're going to stay on the bike, stay focused just in case one of those has a fall or something. But the last round really is to drive round and see how we get on, because the championship will be over. We'll not really have much chance of finishing 3rd or 2nd. So we'll have to just drive round in the next round in Aragon. Just try and prove ourselves a little bit and see how it got on. That's not the best braking into there. I think the problem is with slow corners, you just try and be a little bit too aggressive, and the bike's going no. I can't take that. I can't physically corner at that speed and that braking. So we have to bear that in mind for future GPs. But of course, if we are on a Moto3 bike next year, that certainly helps us in terms of a bit more of a powerful bike. That will help us to our strengths, which is power rather than cornering necessarily. But a little bit of a cheeky corner cut there, but I'm sure you won't mind. It's only losing us 2 tenths, and that won't put us behind Balthus unless we make a really bad mistake. But those top 3 are just unbelievable. No doubt about it. It's probably unrealistic, I would argue, but I don't want to be seen as being grumpy. But we are on the top AI, so that means that that's what you get with the top AI. We might have to move them down at some point if it is too much of a challenge, because if we are finishing in no man's land, that's never any fun for anyone. But 4th place, we'll take that. That's exactly where we started, so no progression but no loss at the same time. And where does that put us in the championship? Yeah, it's pretty much all over. We can't win the championship, we can't really finish 2nd. But of course we'll get to Aragon, of course, Salvador and Tate's final race. Well, it's everyone's final race technically. but their home race to see how we get on and hopefully end any hopes they've got of a home race win. Well, isn't this a nice surprise? Well, we only did 2 laps. I think I'm fairly good round Aragon, but we've managed to sneak pole position very close to our competitors in Salvador and Canil. But potentially, I can't remember where Tate is. I think he's the 3rd of the 3 in the championship. He's qualified quite a way down, so if we can keep him down there, we might well finish 3rd in this championship yet. But I think, to be fair, at this track there is some exploitation you can take of the track. Not in terms of corner cuts or anything like that, but there are a few corners which I will show you that the AI tend to go slowly in or brake in, when actually you can probably take flat out and not really see any difference. That's probably why we've qualified on pole, but we don't want to mar our achievement by anything. We haven't qualified on pole since, I think, the 3rd race in Assen, so a very good achievement. And what I didn't point out is that the Austrian Grand Prix was actually our first podium since the 2nd race. Quite incredible. Of course, if we did pull off the win here, we'd start and end the season with a win. Of course, we've only had the 1 win, which was the first race at Jerez. Then we've had 2 other podiums, I think. Of course, in the 2nd race and in Austria. Can we make that 3 today? And maybe it's 2 wins to add to the collection. Let's see how we get on. It's 4 laps as usual round this Aragon circuit. It's going to be a tight one, and I bet these guys are going to be particularly racy. So let's go. The lights are on above the riders, and we are away for the final Rookies Cup race of the season. It's been a real pleasure to race in the Rookies Cup. Really, well, interesting turn 5. I don't quite think this is turn 5. But, no, it's been a real pleasure to race with these bikes. They've been really nice to ride and a real challenge with those top 3. But as you can see already, that corner it's saying not really take much speed into. And this one, well, look at this. Saying brake. I'm pretty much flooring it there, and there's no difference. So hopefully we can keep this going till the end of the race. We had a little bit of a challenge from Canil. Oh, and Salvador there. That was certainly a challenge. Goodness me, though. They've gone a lot wider than I did. Potentially caused by my stupid braking. But that's actually helped us, funnily enough, in the end. They went way wide. And we just got a massive undercut on them. And that really helped us to carry on. But I think it's just all about mistake prevention here. We're clearly the fastest bike, albeit very marginally, around this circuit. Let's see if we can pull off the win. Blimey hell, Salvador! Jesus! Well, that's him off, but goodness me, did you see that then? Jesus. At that corner, we took a bit of a... Well, we took our line, he took his line, and he just went right into the side of us. Blimey hell, that was, well, kamikaze to say the least. It might have been our fault, 2 varying lines, but look at Tate through there. But Tate? He qualified about 8th, didn't he? Jesus. I'll tell you something, this is proof that the riders take massively different lines, and I love it, because Tate's just took that massively wide line, even though he's come all the way from about 8th place, I just do not understand. But Salvador fell off, so that will help us, but amazingly that just proves how slow the AI are outside those top 3, because he's already in 10th place after falling off the bike. Tate might have had a fall as well. Tate's down to 5th, but he's back up to 4th. Might have been at that first corner perhaps where we had a little bit of a tangle with him and pushed him a bit wide, but I'm not really bothered, to be honest. But it's Canil who's close to us, and he's gone wide as well, so it looks like really we're going to be gifted this race win. Canil's going wide, Tate's going wide, Salvador's just going, well, I'm going to crash into you and try and crash to get past you. It's an interesting concept, something we would definitely never do, even though there's probably been evidence of us doing it already this series, but nevertheless, it's been a fun season. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I wanted to make sure we got it over nice and quick. I wanted to do the Red Bull Rookies Cup just to start from the bottom and hopefully get to the top. But I want to get it done quickly, hence why we've done 3 races today, 2 races yesterday and 2 races on the first day of the series. But I think for Moto 3, if we get there, of course, we might not get there. We might have to do another season in the Rookies Cup, which will be painful. Even though they've been a pleasure to ride, I don't want to really ride them for more than 1 season. I'd like to progress into Moto 3 if possible. That's way wide. But I'm not sure whether I want to do 1 race of those every day. Oh, hello. Is that Canil going past? It is as well. Right, we've got something else on our hands here. Never mind scheduling and the amount of race we've got. I think Canil might be winning this. Got a very good exit out of there, though. Had to scrap the car out and a much better acceleration. And it's bye-bye Canil, rather than bye-bye baby, I suppose. But, yeah. I don't know if we're going to do 2 races in each episode. or just the one. I'm really not sure. But that's Canilga. I think all the AI like to take that line. We brake a lot earlier. They then brake going later into the corner, which gives us a much better acceleration. I think our line's the better one to take, I would say. And I'm just going to take a cheeky screenshot because, you know, the thumbnail. I mean, that looks nice, doesn't it? Look at that. I mean, you're all behind the scenes now. Cheeky screenshot. That might well be, or not be, the thumbnail for this episode. But we set the fastest lap. Cunil is right behind us now. He's going to go for it into turn 1, I would say. Salvador, though, bombing the fastest lap at 2:06.9. He's getting frustrated. He might well still come to the front of the field, even after having an off. But 2 laps to go. We can get past Cunil. Will cut away. What a move. I mean, just look at... I mean, okay, flat might have been a little bit of an exaggeration through there. But we can certainly go quicker through there than the AI could. Whilst we're not going to win the championship, it is nice to get some win of some kind and gain some bragging rights on the rest of the field. We started the season with a win. It looks like we're going to end the season with a win. Very dominant race from us today. I think it's just the case that I'm quite good round Aragon, and that certainly helps us out. No weak points, I would argue, for us, which always helps. Probably we did have weak points. You could probably tell around Misano and Austria, but around here we're nicely hooked up, and we're going to get our second win of the season. Funnily enough, the first race is a win, and this race is a win. We're not going to win the championship, but this might well be our goodbye to this bike. It's been a good bike. It's served us well for 7 races, the Red Bull KTM. It's been a good, trusty bike. We've only fell off it a few times, so we've stayed on quite nicely. We'll come around the final corner, turn 16. That then turns, of course, into turn 17, I think. Unless it's a big loop in... No, it is turn 17. That's all right. Then onto the start-finish straight, and we have won the Spanish Grand Prix of Aragon. And that is a very nice way to end the Red Bull Rookies Cup season. Not quite the fastest lap, unfortunately. Salvador likes to nick that from us, but after falling off, that's a very impressive accolade to get that. But much quicker than Tata and Canil, but if Salvador would have got through, he'd have definitely won that race. So, what are the championship results like? Not far off, to be fair, in the end. It's Canil who wins the championship, ahead of Salvador and Tata, and we're 11 points further back in 4th, but the 4 of us make up the Ton Up Club with plus 100 points. So very good. And now let's see what happens at the end of the season. But this is a great weekend for us. We're chuffed. Riders behind us don't look so chuffed, but at the end of the day, we've won the race. We've had to give up plenty of those throughout this season, so it's a really sweet feeling to be winning this race after not being on the podium for many of them, losing like in Mazzano to the 3 ahead of us. This time, we've got the bragging rights. But that's probably been a bit of a longer episode, so I apologise about that, but just wanted to get it done. On my end, just to let you know for editing purposes, it's 63 minutes I've been recording for, so maybe, hopefully, that's shortened down a fair amount. But 4th position in the championship, so very, very good stuff. So, who's our favourite team? Every motorcycle fan has a favourite brand, a bike that can make your heart sing just by hearing the roar of the engine. Oh... Well, this is tricky. I could genuinely go for, I've got a story, I could go for Honda or Yamaha. Yamaha, Rossi. Ducati, well, it's the Italian bike, isn't it? It's the glorified bike, it's just a beautiful bike. And Honda, bit of a personal affiliation. My dad's quite a Honda fan, he's got a lot of Honda Super Dreams, so... And I'm a bit of a Honda fan myself. Oh, this is a tricky one. But I think to win the championship on a Duke is a very good thing to do. So we're going to aspire to race in the Duke. But we've got a few offers from Motor3 teams. That's quite nice to see. Only those 4 teams. But, so we'll, well, we can either sign up for the Rookies Cup again, which I'm not particularly interested in doing, or we can get a Moto3. So we can either go to the BOE Skull Rider Mugen race contract. Not looking for victory in the short term. Green Power, a little bit better in terms of performance, so they want us constant placings. Same goes for Redox Bristol GP. But Padrona Sprinter Racing is the same as Mugen. So we're going to go for one between CIP Green Power and Redox Bristol GP. And this sounds stupid, but because the Redox looks nicer, we're going to go with the Redox Bristol GP. So that's our current team. And for next season, we move to Moto3. So we've Jacob Cornfoyle, a fairly known name, and Philip Salak. So solid riders. So there we go then. So, we are up into the Moto3 season. Very exciting, as you see. The championship will start with the Grand Prix of Qatar. Very exciting. And we start it all again It's our first full season. We go from Qatar to Argentina all the way through the season. Of course, Moto3 race at every single track to the end of the season, unless we get fast-tracked into Moto2 at the Valencia circuit. But I've been TIJ Gaming. I'm really looking forward to getting into Moto3 next episode. But I hope you've enjoyed the Red Bull Rookies Cup. We now move to Moto3, and hopefully you guys will enjoy that. Make sure to leave a like down below, comment your thoughts on the video, and subscribe for daily MotoGP content. But until the next time, folks, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys later.